Chapter 4: The Art of a Productive Life. Productivity is probably one of the most misunderstood elements of success. Productive is a derivative of the word produce. It's quite simple means to generate results. As we have already learned, in order to be successful, you have to make choices, define success in your own terms, and create a mission that will take you toward your ultimate destiny. Therefore, as we look at the art of productivity, it can only be gauged or measured in light of your personalized goals, success goals. Just because you're moving, it does not mean you're moving in the right direction. Visualize the hamster in the cage, frantically running on the spinning wheel. He has a lot of activity but no productivity. If the hamster runs even faster, he still doesn't get anywhere. Be careful to never confuse activity with productivity. Most people in our society work very hard in terms of activity, and we all fill 24 hours each day and 7 days each week. But as in the case of our hamster friend, just because we're running or even sprinting doesn't mean we're really moving at all in terms of productive progress toward our personalized success goal. It is actually astonishing to realize that in some cases, activity can be counterproductive. If you're moving down the highway at 70 miles per hour on a clear, bright, sunny day with very little traffic, you might think you're making good progress or being very productive. In reality, if your destination lies somewhere behind you in the opposite direction, your activity is actually counterproductive. In this case, going faster or working harder will take you even further away from your goal or destination than you currently are. Someone pulled off to the side of the road who is not moving at all is actually making more progress or being more productive than you are. The art of productivity is only applicable as it relates to your personalized success and your individual mission toward that destiny. Sometimes, in the midst of frantic activity, the most productive thing you can do is stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself several questions. Number one, what is it I'm really trying to accomplish? Number two, do I really want to accomplish this? Number three, will this activity move me toward that end result? Number four, is there a better way to get from here to there than I am currently pursuing? In a ready, aim, fire world, too often we overlook the ready and the aim portion of the equation. There's only one good reason to pursue any activity, and that is because it is the most productive and efficient way to accomplish your mission of moving toward your personal success goal. Not long ago, I had an opportunity to train a team of salespeople. These individuals were engaged in commission selling from cold calls and referrals. They had no responsibilities other than to sell their product. When I arrived on the scene, I first spent most of my time listening and observing their activity. Too often, outside advisors and consultants come into a situation and perform ready, fire, aim consulting before you seek anyone's opinion. Make sure they understand your unique success goal and the mission you have undertake to get from here to there. Otherwise, you will get some great advice that may rapidly take you even further away from where you want to be than you currently are. As I observed these individual salespeople, they all appear to be working very hard. For the most part, they arrived at the office early, they seemed to be engaged in frantic activity, and by and large, they stayed late into the workday. After gathering the information I needed, I called them all together and asked several questions. Number one, how many hours a week do you work? Number two, are you working hard? The answers were quite revealing. The average salesperson felt they were working about 45 to 50 hours a week, and they all assured me that, sorry, they were working extremely hard. Then I asked a simple question: what is your job here? They responded in unison by letting me know their job was to sell their company's product. When I asked how they could accomplish this other than by talking to prospects on the phone or in person, it got very quiet. So then I gave them the good news. I let them know that they could all make more money by generating more sales by only working 15 hours a week. This was greeted with great spectacle. I got them each a discount store stopwatch and told them to keep it in their jacket pocket or purse during the workday. Anytime they were actually engaged talking to a prospect about their company's products or services, they were to click the watch on, and when they were done, they were to click the watch off until they began talking to one another potential clients. I told them that once they had reached 15 hours of productive work time in the week as indicated by their stopwatch, they were done until next week. As I had already approved this with their supervisor, they were elated to find out they had to work 15 hours per week. What they didn't realize was that the average salesperson in that organization had actually only been working around 5 hours a week, and they had been wasting approximately 40 hours a week in non-productive activity. A few months after they implemented this stopwatch productivity system, I got some feedback results. Approximately a third of the salespeople were breaking their own previous records and many of the company's sales records. Approximately a third of the salespeople were still working 45 hours a week in their old manner, which you and I now understand meant they were really only working productively 5 hours a week. And finally, a third of the salespeople had quit as they could not handle the unstructured freedom and responsibility of the art of productivity. The top third of the sales force was only coming into the office a few hours each day. They were efficiently and productively establishing new customers, and then they were spending time with their families, fishing, or improving their golf game because their sales numbers were astonishing. Then, to management, no one cared how many or how few hours they spent in the office. Your professional workday is about creating productivity, not generating activity designed to convince someone that they're working. I realize that it is hard to define each job in every field in absolute terms of activity versus productivity. but you know better than anyone else when you're making a difference and when you're just treading water for appearance's sake. One of my heroes and mentors was the legendary coach John Wooden. He passed away a few months before his 100th birthday, and I was privileged to know him and work with him during the last decade of his life. You have heard it said that some wise people have forgotten more than anyone else knows. This would be true of Coach Wooden, except for the fact that he never forgot anything, even as he approached a century of life. In the totally measurable, definable world of big-time college basketball, Coach Wooden has more championships and created more success than anyone ever. He dominated the college basketball landscape in a way that has never been equaled before or since. He recruited and cultivated players such as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Walton, and countless college and future NBA stars. Coach Wooden had a phrase that he shared with his players that I believe defines the art of productivity for us all. When Coach Wooden had a player who was not getting into position fast enough, he would repeat the phrase, "Be quick, but don't hurry." As simple as this may seem, it can define the difference between your success and your failure. In Coach Wooden's terms, being quick means moving efficiently and under control toward your destination. Hurrying means being out of control and running with reckless abandon. Being quick will get you into position to win. Hurrying will simply tire you out on the road to inevitable failure. Quickness is a state of mind. Hurrying is a state of activity. Remember to never confuse activity with productivity. As you look at your daily, weekly, and monthly calendar, when you review each item, ask yourself the question, is this activity or productivity? This can only be judged in light of your firmly established success goal and the mission you are on to take you there. If you will learn to work smarter, not harder, quicker and not more hurried, and productively, not simply more actively, you will begin to live a life of productivity full of peace, serenity, joy, and success beyond your wildest dreams.